Hi, this is a puzzle game developed in Visual C++. Okay, let me show you guys how this works. When I click on that, what you see is this indicator actually shows what's happening. Okay, now we can try to get it right here, and there we go. That's what happened. This message box pops up saying you've won. Click on OK, and we can restart and start a new project entirely, or you can just click on the solution to get it right. You can exit if you want. Choice is yours. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Visual C++ development environment, and we'll put one of these together. And let's do that now, guys. Okay, let's start a new project. Let's click on new, create new project, and I'm going to select CLR empty project.NET framework, this very one, and click on next. Let's give our project a name. I'm going to call it CPP puzzle. There, let's just get that right. Puzzle game. So let's click on create. Alright, now let's click on the solution explorer, and in there, since we don't have a form, we have to generate or create this form ourselves. So let's click on the property tool here. There. And once this dialog box pops up, you have to make sure the configuration manager, it is set to Win64. So what you need to do is come up right here, just drop this down and select 64, and as you can see, that's 64. Okay, close that. Now inside this very dialog itself, let's go straight into linker, drop it down, and let's select system right there. Inside the system, you want to come to subsystem, drop down the subsystem here, and let's select Windows subsystem Windows. Click on that and then click on apply. The next thing you need to do is come back right here and select the advanced. Inside the advanced, you see where we have the entry point, change that to main. There we go, and just click on OK. There, that is fine. Now what we need to do is we need to come up here. See our project, that's the name for my project, CPP puzzle. Right click on it and let's select add new item. Click on new item, and this pops up. And what we want inside this dialog here is we want the UI. Select the UI and now select Windows Forms. That is the default name you're given. I'm going to keep my default name, myform.h. Click on add. There, we end up with an error. There we go, we ended up with an error. So what we need to do to get rid of this error is click on the solution explorer again. You see myform.cpp, double click on myform.cpp. We then need some lines of code inside this very forum. Let me take you guys straight to the forum right here. This forum actually shows you how to create the form and so forth. I will actually include this link, the URL, into the description area. Let's come right down. There we go. This is where this is where I am right now, and right here, those are the lines of code that I need. I'm going to copy those lines of code. Copy. I don't have any use for this anymore. Paste those lines of code right in there, and we will end up with an error. This error is we just need to enter the name of your project in there. The name of my project is CPP puzzle. Right there, double click on it, and the error should go any second from now. You see that? Okay, that is that done. If you like, you can always run your project. You should be able to see your form now, and right there comes our form. but we won't be able to see this form inside the Solution Explorer. The only way we can see the form that we've just created is to completely close the whole system. So I'm going to close it and reopen it. So what we need is a CPP puzzle. So close that, and it's going. There we go. And right there, that's the CPP puzzle. I'm going to click get it opened. There. Now let's go straight into the Solution Explorer. Okay, there we go. Now click on the Solution Explorer. Right there, that's your form right there. Double click on the form. There we go. That's the form, and that's how you create your own form. So what we want to do now is I'm going to go straight into the properties. There, click on the properties. I'm going to change the size of the form to 1386 by 788. Press enter. Now let's come here where we have start position. Click on that and let's get it centered. There we go, center the screen. And here you see where we have the name my form. I'm going to change that to puzzle game. There, done. Now the next thing I want to do is just to develop or design my interface the way I want. So I'm going to go to the tools and let's go straight down and look for the panel. There we go, that's the panel. Just draw the panel there. I'm going to need one here. And I'm going to change the color of this panel to cadet blue. Let's go straight to the properties right here. Change the color to cadet blue. You can change yours to whatever you want. There. And I might as well just copy this. Let's hold on to the control, click and drag. And just, I'm going to need a couple of those. There we go. And just copy. Let's reduce this and copy it one more time, and that's it. That is fine. Okay, there. Now I'm just going to select these three and just drag it right down. A little bit more. There. Okay, that's cool. The next thing I want to do now is I want to come in here and grab a button. Grab one button there. And just copy. Now I'm going to have to tidy up things. I have 8 there. And there. Right. Come back in here, grab a text box. No, let's go for a label, not a text box. A label here, and I'm going to need a label here as well. Just 2 labels. Let's change the font size to maybe 90. There we go. And this very label here, that's going to be for the title. And with the title, I'm going to change that to puzzle game in C++. There. Why this very one? We just change that to total clicks. Total clicks. We're gonna need a couple more, so let's add a border to this total click. I'm going to come right to the border style and just change that to fixed single, auto size. I'm going to make that false. Okay, and I can size it how I want. There we go. And I'm also going to copy it, but this time around get rid of the text content I have in there. Get rid of that. And we're going to need more room for just to tidy up things. Okay, before I tidy up things, I'm going to copy these. We'll need 3 of these up here. 1, 2, and 3. Select it all, drag it this much. Right. So what I'm going to do now is just speed up your process just to tidy up things, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. And right there, guys, that's how the whole system is looking right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, let's change. Okay, that's fine. Let's just okay, what I'm going to do now is I am going to double click on the form and let's create the following. But first of all, let's just enter the following variable. I want to call that counter there. And right underneath the counter variable, I'm going to create a function. As you all know, a function is a block of code which only runs when it's called. So let's take care of that right now. So I'm going to just press enter, and right here, first of all, let's make it public and enter semicolon there. Public. I'm going to say system column void, and let's give it a name. I'm going to call it empty spot checker. There. And guess what? Right inside this function, I'm also going to create. Okay, I've just added curly braces. I'm going to enter parameters. Well, first and first, let's create an object in there. My parameter, the name of it, I'm going to call it buff1, just like button1. Okay, I'm going to need two of those. The second object, okay, and I'm going to call that buff2, just like button number 2. Now what I'm trying to achieve with this is, if you go in here, okay, like my number 12 there, okay, you guys should know how to enter value into them. Okay, all you just need to do is select it. Like number 12 here, we have nothing inside it. Just come in here and enter 12. All right, but I don't want to enter any value in there. I have to keep that empty. So this very number 12 that you're looking at, that is my button number 2 within my function. Okay, that is meant to be my button number 2. Let's go back, double click on that, and I'm just go right there. That is it right there. I want to take that as my button number 2. So let's use an if statement to get this sorted. So I'm going to say if button2 dot text, if it's empty, equals empty. Okay, I'm comparing what is on that very button to what is here. So equals empty, it is empty. So and I want button number 2 itself to inherit every single value we have inside button number 1. So equals button 1, and there we go. Just enter semicolon. If button 1 has delivered all its content into button 2, in that case button 1 is going to be empty. So come in here and change button 1, change that to button 1, and that takes care of my very first function. From here down here, that's my function created. Okay, now the other thing that I like to take care of very fast, or maybe we should just, let's use this function first to see how the whole lot is going to work. So I'm going to copy that very function name, copy it from here, there, and let's do one thing. Come straight to my design here, double click on button number 1. Well, just before I double click on this button number 1, one thing I'd like to show you guys is, you see button number 1 will be able to move horizontally. That's going through the position of button number 2, and also take position of button number 5 as well. So if I double click on it, what I'm going to enter is empty spot checker will be button number 1, btn 1, comma, it's going to take the position of button number 2. Grab that. there, and that becomes 2. Close that. And we can also move in the position of button number 5. So come right down here, paste that there. That will be for button number 5, and that's all there is to that. Okay, I might as well copy that. Now let's have a good look at button number 2. Button number 2 can move in the position of button 1, button 3, and button 6. So double click on button number 2, press enter, repeat the same thing. But this one will become 2 because that's the button that is moving, and it's moving in the position of button 1 and button number 2, and it's also moving in the position of button number 6. So grab one of these and just paste it right underneath it. That will be button number 6. There we go. Now the other one to take care of is button 3. As you can see, button number 3 will be able to move 3, 4, and 7. So double click on that, and we just grab all of these and just change it to 3, 4, and 7, while the button that is making the movement will be button number 3. So this becomes 3 here, and the movement will be 2, 4, and 7. There we go. Now back to my system there. So button number 4 we only be able to move 3 and 8. So double click on button 4, press enter. That will be 3 and 8. So I'm going to just grab that, paste that right here. That will be 3 and 8, and that's button number 4. 4 here as well, and this is 8 there. Now let's take care of button 5. As for button number 5, button number 5 should be able to move 1, 6, and 9. So come right down here, press enter. So that will be 3 movements, so I might as well copy that, paste that right in here. That will be 1, and it can move 6 and 9 as well. And I'm going to change this one to 5 and 5 here. There. Now let's take care of button number 6. Button number 6 will be moving 2, 5, 7, and right there 10. So double click on 6, paste all of that in there, and one more. So that will be button number 6. The movement will be 2, 5, 7, and 10. And this is button 6. 6, 6, and 6. Okay, that is me calling the function. So let's take care of button number 7. Button 7, that will be 4 movement as well. So copy all of these and just paste that right underneath here. And button 7 should move 3, 6, 3, 6, 8, and 11. There. Okay, now we have button number 8. And oh, we need to change this to 7. There. Now let's take care of button 8. Double click on button number 8 and press enter, paste that in there. As for button number 8, direction of movement will be 4, 7, and 12. 7 and 12. And this is button 8 there. Okay, let's have a look at 9. Let's go back in here. Button number 9 will be 5 and 10. Double click on 9, press enter, paste. That is 9, 9, and this is 5 and 10 here. Okay, now we have button number 10. Okay, come right here, double click on button number 10, press enter, paste that, and in the case of 10 will be moving 6, 9 and 11, 9 and 11, and this will be button 10, 10, 10 and 10. Okay, button 11, double click on button number 11. I'm going to paste that and just change this to 11, and the direction of movement will be 7, 10 and 12, 10 and 12. That's button number 11. Now for button number 12, double click on 12, and 12 will only be making 2 movements. That will be 8 and 11. It's 8 here, 11 here, get rid of this, and this will be 12, and that's all there is to it. I've actually called the functions inside all of my buttons. So as you know, the function is actually a block of code which only runs when it's called. Buttons has actually called the function that I declare right up here. That's the function. So let's run it. I'm going to save it first just to be sure that it works as expected. If it works, I should be able to shuffle around the buttons. There we go. There, you see that is working. But that is not what we're trying to achieve. What we're trying to achieve is to make sure the system actually shuffles itself around. Okay, so I'm going to exit out. Now before I do that, I'm going to do one thing first. Let's just add broken line there to know where the functions are. So I'm going to copy that. I need 2 more functions and paste that right underneath here. Okay, my next function, I'm just going to use that to find out if the player gets it right. Then there should be a message box that will pop up. Let me just copy all of this and let's change the names around, paste that in there and get rid of all of this. I don't need that. Now I'm going to change the name this function and get rid of these parameters inside the function. I will also change the name of this. That will be score or solution checker, something like that. Solution. Okay, that's fine, and that is the function right there. So let me just move it in a little bit so that you guys can see it. Alright, inside here I'm going to use an if statement to check. So let's say if button btn number 1 dot, okay, let's say dash text, if is equals the value 1, that's the first one taken care of, and number 2 is the same thing. Let's grab this. I might as well grab everything. That is number 2, button number 2, and this is 2 as well. And button number 3 is the same. Let's put a space in between. This is 3. There. Let's come down here, close that. Alright, now button number 4 5, 6. So let's change this to 4 here, 5 here, and 5 here as well, 6, and we have a 6 here as well. There. Now let's go for the next one, 9, and so on. So let me get rid of this. Is 7 here, 8, and 8 here. We have 9 here. Then we have 10 and a 10 here. Then we have 11. There we go. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need the 12 because there's nothing in the 12. Close that and delete this very one. So let's enter a curly braces there. There. Now, if every single button has the following value 1, 2, 3 up to 11, knowing fully well button 12 has nothing on it, then we want a message box to pop up. Message box, that will be column show, and we just need to enter something in there. Oh, well done, you are a winner. There, that's the message. I'm going to enter another argument in there. This argument will just be puzzle game. That is the title. Now let's enter one more argument. This other argument will be message box button, and I'm just going to say dash. I think that should be okay. There. Okay, that's message box button. There should be a comma here. Okay, we have a comma here as well. Then I'm going to enter another argument, message box icon. For the icon, I'm going to say column information. There we go. I just enter semicolon here. There. And that is it. This message box will pop up saying you've won the game. And right underneath, since you've won, I'm going to now make reference to my counter, the variable right up there. I'm going to now say counter equals counter plus 1. Okay, now we're incrementing counter. Now right in here, for every single clicks that are made, okay, I want it displayed inside this label. Okay, and as you can see, every single button that I have in there, they all have their own names as well. That's BTM1 and so on up to 12. So let's go back into our function. So right underneath here, I'm now going to say LBL number of clicks dash text equals, we have to convert that to string character. So I'm going to say dot convert to string. There. Convert the data to string, enter parentheses, and that takes care of that. So that's the second function taken care of. This second function, we meant to call that inside every button to check if there's a winner. So I'm going to copy that and go right inside button number 1. Let's see, there we go. Double click on button number 1 and paste that in there. Just call the second function. So we need to repeat the same thing for all of the buttons. I might as well just copy this since I already have my semicolon in there. Paste it in there, come right down here, repeat the same thing here. We are almost there. Just one more function, now we should be done. So that is 5. Now take care of 6, 7. Now need 8, 9, 10. Come right down here. We have 11 and 12. 11 and 12. So I've called the last function I've just written now in every single button. Now finally, I need a function that will officially shuffle the system around. As you can see, when I run the game, it's not shuffled. So we need a function to take care of that. Okay, a function will be easier. All I just need to do in that function is I will call it from form load, and I will also call it from reset. So let's come back down here. Solution, we need to take care of that as well. But okay, let's take care of this function first. So I'm going to come up here. So right here, let me just put the function here. This function would be just to take care of to shuffle the numbers for me. So I've just copied that, and I'm going to change the name of that to shuffle. There we go. And there. Now, first of all, I'm going to create an array. Let's say it's going to be an integer array, and this very array, let's call it b num. Okay, that's fine. Equals garbage collect new array, and that I'm going to make the array about 12. Yeah, it is 12, not about 12. It is 12. Okay, so that should be integer, and the array is going to be 12 anyway. There, that is my array declared. Now I'm also going to enter one variable there, and I'm going to create another one. I'm going to call that rule checker. Right there, and let's create another boolean or a boolean variable. I'm going to set the default to that to false. There we go. Now let's say I equals 1, and get that initialized with 1 anyway. So, and let's say do y is a random, and I'm going to create that the object as ran equals garbage new ran there, and rule checker as one of my variables there equals, I'm going to convert that to string. What I'm converting is the value that we have in here that I'm converting. So I'm going to say dot convert that to integer, dot to int 32, something like that. Yeah, int 32. Okay, and ran dash to the next value, and that will be between 0 and 11 because I have 12 anyway. So right here, I'm just going to increment that by 1 and enter semicolon here. Right. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to then use a for loop. Okay, let's use a for loop for the positioning of this button. So that's a for j equals 1, and j is less than and equals to I j plus plus. Come out of it, press enter, and what I'll then do is I'm going to use if statement here. If be num. Let's put it in an array. If be num equals row checker, then I want the flag will become true. Flag equals true, and end the whole process, break. All right, else. Okay, right here, let's say else if, not else if, I'm just going to use an if there. If flag this time around equals true. If it's true, then flag will become false. Equals false. Else, we'll say else. Okay, open another one. Else the be now itself, taking the array I equals row checker, I in that case will be equals I plus 1 there. Okay, now let's sort this out. Let's now use y I is less than and equals to 11, and I want the following, all of these values. I want the following to happen. Button 1, this one, that will be dash text equals, we have to convert that, convert dot to string. No, it's meant to be column to string, and the string what we're converting is be num equals 1, array number 1 there, and next one is going to be for b2. That'll be for b2. I'm going to copy that. First of all, let's correct this. Copy that, and I'm just going to change the value around, move it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to grab the rest, just copy and paste there. So this will be 2, yeah, 3, 4, and so on. And there we go. That takes care of the function that I'm going to use to shuffle the buttons. So let me show it to you guys. Take it from here. Okay, have a good look at that, all those lines of code for this function that will be used to just shuffle around all of my buttons. And we need to now try it. Okay, now let's call that particular function inside form load. So I'm going to copy that, and let's go straight into form load. Double click on the form itself right here, that is form load, you can see it. Now come right down here, paste that, and enter semicolon. Alright, I'm going to repeat the same thing for the reset. Grab that, let's go into the reset button, double click on that, press enter, and paste that in there for the reset. So let's run it now. Run. There we go. As you can see, the buttons are automatically shuffled. So it's now the duty of the player to find a way to get it right. That is good. That's fine. Yeah, that's not bad, guys. Okay, solution works. Oh, I haven't taken care of the solution. Reset works. So let's go into solution. We need to take care of those two, and we'll call it the end of the tutorial. So let's come in. In the case of solution, we just need to change the whole values in there. Right here, double click on the solution, and all we just need to do is it's a btn button 1 dot, that will be text, and that will be equals, we need to convert it to, that will be to string. Yep. And what are we converting to string? That will be 1. There. Okay, so all I'm just going to do is just copy it and paste it around for the rest buttons. That's for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There. I'm just going to change the data on them around. This is button 2. That will be number 2. Button 3. And so on. 4. And I'm just going to speed that up. 5. No, that will be 4. And that is it right there. All taken care of. Okay, one more thing. Let's add LDL number of clicks. We need to clear that as well. Dash text, that will be equals clear there. Okay, because we are resetting the old lot. Now let's come in here where we have resets. We need to do that in there as well. That is good. Now let's take care of exit. Come right down here, double click on exit. Yeah, now with the exit, I'm just going to enter as follows. Let's say system, system column Windows, and that is column forms, column dialog result, and I'm just going to give that a name. I'll call it quit, or let's say I exit. Yeah. So now let's enter the following. I exit, that is equals message box, or we can even copy the message box, but that's all right anyway. Equals show, and I can just enter confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit. Yeah. Okay, that's my first argument. The second argument would be puzzle game. That's the title. And I'm going to enter another argument. The third one is going to be message box button, column yes or no, comma, another one, message box icon, that will be column question. Yeah, enter semicolon there. And now let's use an if statement. If I exit equals system dot grab all of this. Let's paste it in there. So column yes. Let's open and close. Then in that case, application.exit. Application column exit. There, and that should take care of my exit. That should be semicolon. There we go, no errors. So run. Okay, Let's try our exit. Yes, the exit works. No, there we go. The exit is working fine. So let's run it again and play the game. There we go. There. Okay, that's looking good. It's looking good, man. I like that. Yeah, that is it, guys. And that's how you develop your own puzzle game in Visual C++. That is brilliant. Yeah, that's good. 48 clicks. That is fine. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed it. And please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. There are a lot of benefits if you're a member. You have a nice day now, and stay safe. Bye for now.